All right. We're going to go ahead and take a look real quick. Make sure everything is set up and up to snuff. The microphone, good. Stream be good. Audience, good. Because, like, Ori's here over on the YouTube side. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Lucky's here on the Twitch side. Thank you for joining us. Hello, hello. Kellen's also redeemed a lurk right off the top of the bat. Yeah. Yeah. That's some good shit. That is good shit right there. All right. And YouTube is running this time. I had enough time to like double check and make sure. So we're set there. All right, which means you're here for the start of the stream. Stretch. Oh god, stretch. Don't shrimp up like me. I'm so bad at shrimping up, which is why I have to always stretch. Oh god. Wait, why does it say Final Fantasy 14? Here, hold on, let me like manually adjust category. Is this a Final Fantasy 14 stream or a Magic stream? It's a Magic stream. It's a Magic stream. Don't worry about that. Just for whatever reason, it didn't update my macro didn't update the Twitch category like it normally would. So I'm fixing it now. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and with that, I think we're set to go. Take a little sippy. Go into the spiel. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and this is the Daily Grind. This is that time of the day where we come on and we grind our dailies. Today is June 25th, 2026. It's still Pride Month, everyone! Happy Pride Month! I don't know. I don't know why. That just gives me so much joy. It gives me so much joy to remember that it's still Pride Month, you know? And, like, Vancouver's actually going to have their Pride Month, like, in a couple months, actually. So, I don't get a parade to go to this month, but I will eventually. Do you also hate pulling from a mythic pack and either getting a card you won't use or one you already have? It's not, like, ideal, but it's like, well, whatever. It's not my favorite thing. Like, I obviously don't enjoy it given that I only play Brawl and maybe draft sometimes. At least when it's a mythic, like... So here's the way I think about it. Every time that I pull a mythic I already have, excluding lands, of course. Lands are always good to pull in duplicates, for whatever reason. Every time I pull a mythic, I think, okay, you know what? I'm one mythic closer to this slot being automatically a different card. And that means one card's closer to, like, having this set be just, like, automatic mythic wild cards. Pull the Sphinx Demon from New Capenna twice. Are you pulling? Are you cracking New Capenna packs? In the year of Arfarica 2026? Is that what you're doing, Teddy? Because, like, good on you for knowing what you want, but, like, I think at that point you'd rather just buy standard packs so you can get the gold packs, you know? Alright. Said you were making the deck? I mean, like, I still think it's better to buy packs from standard sets and then craft the singles that you need. Like, if you want to build a New Capenna... If you want to build a deck using almost primarily New Capenna cards, then, like, sure, yeah, go for it. I wouldn't recommend it, though, personally. I think if you want to make a commander, if you have, like, maybe 2 or 3 singles, just get the standard packs. Get whatever's in standard so you can get your gold packs. Get wild cards. Anyway, moving on to today's agenda, folks. For today's agenda, we are going to be grinding. We're not going to be grinding ranked, though. We currently have a seasonal chart here that needs to be filled out. And there are requirements here. So, like, cast 30 or more heroes, cast 100 or more heroes, cast white spells, blue spells, black spells. I'm not really worried about, like, the counts on all of these, although white spells is currently at 69. But this one right here, Web Spinner, cast 50 or more spider spells over any number of games. You could make a spider deck. could make a spider deck, or you could make a spider hero commander deck and be able to clear out some of these heroes achievements too. So we've got a couple of things that we're going to be doing. First of all, we're going to be playing the Iron Spider. We're going to be playing the Iron Spider because I was already kind of working on this deck in the first place. It is a spider hero. Got no other card types. It's literally just a spider hero. But it's a spider hero that's probably going to get killed over and over again, which means that we can recast it over and over again for that free count. We're going to play a ton of mana so that way we can afford the commander tax to replay it. But more importantly, we can play Paradox Engine combo. And this was actually inspired by viewer of the channel, Brony Man. Thank you, thank you. Came up with the idea of using Iron Spider to tap for counters, and then using the infinite mana to remove the counters to try and draw into more cards to keep the Paradox Engine going. I've played a few games with this, and we're very close to finishing the proof of concept version of the deck. Once we actually take it into like casual Brawl, it'll see a lot more resistance, I imagine. But for now, we're currently farming wins in midweek Brawl, which is up for like another 3 hours. We're getting some free wins out of there. And it's also giving me a lot of time to practice with the loop. Because sometimes, you'll get matched against people who don't know how the Paradox Engine works or what the payoff is. It's usually going to be Aetherflux Reservoir, which will give us an absurd amount of life and then just like one-shot them. At least you know what you're getting yourself into. I do. But surprisingly, this deck doesn't necessarily need the Paradox Engine to win. It's playing a ton of ramp, and then it has a ton of things to sink that ramp into. Primarily, it has Mishra's Self-Replicator, which says whenever you cast a historic spell, you can pay 1. If you do create a token, there's a copy of this creature. So every time you cast, basically anything in this deck, each copy is going to trigger, and you just keep dumping all of your mana into that until you have literally an army. And then you also have the animation module. Both of these cards were also suggested by Brony Man, by the way. Animation module. Whenever one or more counters are put on a permanent you control, you can pay 1. If you do, make a colorless servo artifact creature token. So Iron Spider taps, puts a counter on a bunch of artifact creatures. For each one, you can pay 1 to make another body. And then you just do that every turn to keep making a swarm of little robot guys. And then, just for good measure, we've got Glaring Fleshraker over here. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, which everything in the deck is, you make an Eldrazi spawn. And whenever another colorless creature you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So, not only are the spawns dealing damage, but we're also dealing damage just from creatures coming in as normal, which, if you include that with something like an animation module or a Mishra's Replicator, gets out of hand pretty fast. And then the rest of the deck is literally eggs. It's literally cards that replace themselves to draw a card. They're like 1 and 2 mana. We have a bunch of cards that will help us search for Inventor's Fair, which we can use to search for the Paradox Engine to get going. And then we've also got World Map and Expedition Map as 1 mana artifacts to help us find the Inventor's Fair that we can grab off of Tezzeret, who, funnily enough, kicked off the Inventor's Fair so he could steal the best inventions. That's funny. Anyway, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take this into the midweek Brawl queue. And we're going to go Club Seals. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go get some free wins. We're going to go Club Seal. You need a few more mythic and rare cards. Mythics, you need White Planeswalker from New Capenna. You need the Elspeth. You need a white mythic so you can get the Elspeth. Fortunately, that is what just being able to build the collection does. We're up against Thassa, Deep Dwelling, so there's going to be mono blue Blink. So with a hand so with this deck, I typically want to mulligan for 2 mana rocks to start with. Semblance Anvil is not what I'm looking for here, even if it has the Inventor's Fair to start with. Solar Transformer is exactly what I want, even though it has only has 2 rocks. We're gonna get that Solar Transformer online immediately. No offense that Ugin can go F off. None taken. It's a good card. We do in fact play Ugin because Ugin is a good card. That's what you do in one-on-one formats. You play good cards. And like, I've played against Ugin enough to understand that this is a really good card against mid-range. And then just like doesn't do anything against literally anything else. Ooh, okay. Got 3 mana. I can play the Steel Overseer. I can also play... Go ahead and do that just so we can start getting things going. The BS card, why do you need to exile most of my stuff? Players who don't like interaction. Players who just want to be able to solo and set up their own board without, like, anything happening to them whatsoever. Like, yeah, I'll say it again. Ugin is a good card, but if you're playing control, you literally just counter it, or you, like, destroy all of the ramp that they're trying to use to get to it. If you're playing aggro, you go so wide that its 1-for-1 spot removal is basically nothing. Lambus bread. Gotcha. Alright, let's start drawing some extra cards. That's an egg. Let's go. I really want to be able to just like hit something. All right, memory lapse goes on, puts it on top. That's not ideal, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and attack. Pass the turn. And the opponent's just going to pick it up before we even have a chance to go off. But that is fine by me. A win is a win, and we got to cast our Iron Spider. At the end of their turn, we tap. We get to make a 1-1. And then we get to draw our golden egg. We get to try and draw land off the One Ring. Having multiple effects that draw means that the Paradox Engine is just like going forever. We have like 1 mana rock in play, which is not ideal, but with the One Ring, we probably find like some other mana rock to start pulling it all together. Golbez, Crystal Collector. So this is blue-black artifacts. Mind Stone with Guardian Idol, Cultivator's Caravan, and Module. I like that. Plus we got 2 lands that scry. And we're on the play. Good. Good. Excellent. Let's see. How do we want to do this? We'll definitely go turn 1 Module. Turn 2... Probably Guardian Idol. Am I looking for more lands right now? Raceway is good. Good for giving Spider haste, but that's kind of it. Oh, this is the new Marvel Avengers playset area. Gemstone Caverns. Let's go Greyhaven, scry again. Endstone. Do I have enough mana for that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, that sounds like payoff to me. Guardian Idol, pass the turn. Next turn, Caravan into Mindstone. Token Siren, gotcha. And then, depending on what they do, we can slam the Endstone. We'll lose 10 life. Lucky, thank you for the 100 biddies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, depending on what they do, we'll slam the Endstone next turn. We'll lose 10 life, but then we'll just, like, draw off of literally playing anything. Whew. The payoff is huge. Okay, what is that? When this card enters, scry 2. Whenever another artifact you control enters, becomes a 4/4. It's only a problem if they like bounce against stone, I guess. Blue here can only be... They should have attacked with the Oaken Siren and then used it to pay for this so they can leave up a blue. Having to play around like a Spell Pierce would have been a... Oh, okay, actually, you know what? Synthesizer lab ship. Okay. Okay, that's actually legit. Never mind. Alright. Half my starting life total rounded down? Is that it? Rounded down? Rounded up, okay. And then this becomes... Whenever this equipment becomes attached to a creature, you may have that creature become a copy of another creature you control. Gotcha. Hopefully all this stuff is done. Unexpected visit from stepdad. That is. Gotcha, Lucky. Let's see. Game combat of your turn, up to one other target artifact becomes an artifact creature, base, power, toughness 2/2, and gains flying into. That's theoretically pretty. You make a colorless deck by using a lot of mana rocks? Kind of depends on what you're trying to go for. Let's go crack this first of all. Yep, and then we get to draw a card. Then play a card. We get to draw a card. I'll go ahead and make a power stone because I want more rocks. Play a land. We'll get to surveil, then draw a card. How much mana do I have left? I have 1, 2, 3. Got 3 mana available and they're tapped out, so I might actually go... Palladium Mirror is also not... Draw another card. Goes to 13. Life is good. Tips for Raghost. Which one is Raghost again? I'm gonna hold it up real quick. Go to Ye Olde Scryfall. Oh, well. Exchange control of 2 target creatures. Well, that happened. Tips for building Raghost, huh? The lobster. Also, I just lost my command. 2 target... Okay, and they gave me their sword. Ah, okay. Well, guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this without Iron Spider. Not something I've ever had to like worry about, but we also just like have gas for days. Not that worried. Dribbling Claw. Arch is cool. Get some creatures on board. There's Drake's Interlacer. That's important. Go ahead. That. Tezzeret, also huge, because now I can actually potentially... Oh, I don't have the mana for this turn. So, like, I can Paradox Engine without Iron Spider. They could have taken my... Actually, they could have taken my End Stone. They could have taken my End Stone, actually. But they didn't. That's good to know. That's interesting. Got Tezzeret in the robot deck. A lot of the Tezzerets are really good for robot strategies. Okay, yep, there's a cow. So, yeah, Tezzeret crew captain. Grab. As long as we just, like, don't... Oh, yeah, I guess that would be a reason to do it. Now they have... 10... 12... Okay, you... Don't want to do that. Like, I can just block with Junk Diver and get back... something around. Yeah, that's 12. Actually, that doesn't even kill me. Right? No, that doesn't kill me. And I just get the life back. I'm trying to think if there's, like, anything I would actually accidentally lose life from. And I don't think there is. Yeah, I'll take 12. Like, as long as I don't bork it, I'm fine. Alright, let's see if I can go off. I accidentally used a bit more clock than I had just to, like, make sure there wasn't any funny business going on. But we should be good now. Mistress Factory, crack, raw. It's gotta be grab. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and do a Q. We're gonna go, here's Tezzeret. Gonna get me a draw. That's Semblance Anvil? That's pretty good. Just immediately grab our map, expedition map. Yes, please. If I had like another artifact in hand, I could Semblance Anvil and this would be a lot easier. But instead, I'm hitting... Oh, wait, hold on. Exile non-land. Crack. And then we're gonna grab our Paradox Engine. Venture Spare. Yeah! Actually, hold on. Now I have to think for a second, because this is 4 mana. No, that should still be enough. I still have Palladium Myrrh. Alright, we're gonna go all in here. Alright, tap that. Here's Semblance Anvil. Exile the Iron Crag. I don't have enough to pay for the Paradox Engine. Whoops. I'm back up to 13 though. I might just be dead, chat. I think I just came a little short. Yeah, I came a little short. I needed just like way more mana and I could not deploy the Paradox Engine in time. So I guess we hope that they misclick. Losing my Iron Spider because they play artifact creatures is really funny though. Also, they didn't hit any of their swamps? What? Or were they just like playing mono blue, I guess? Oh wait, hold on. Yes, swing at Tezzeret. Kill him good. Murder him. I guess 6 is coming. I mean, there's objectively correct blocks here, so I guess I just take Xaxes, yeah. Alright, never mind. I needed to, like, hit hot. I didn't. Came up just a little bit short, but that's fine. Tips for Radgast. Honestly, I don't have any. I really don't have any. Radgast is... Like, I know what he does, but I'm just kind of pulling him up for stream purposes. Like, this is a 2-mana 2/2. It's a pretty cheap commander to play. But also, he dies so easily. He dies to pretty much any shock effect. If you give each end step, if you gain life this turn, you untap him. He's got pay 1, tap, sack of food, deal 3 damage to each opponent. I guess my real tips would be to, 1, include cards that'll help protect him. So, you know, things like Swiftfoot Boots, Lava Spur Boots, that sort of thing have natural synergy with Radgast. I'd also recommend maybe taking a look at a lot of those egg type effects that I'm currently playing. Artifacts that cost like 1 or 2 mana, and then whenever they enter or go to the graveyard, they replace themselves. Because I feel like what you're trying to do with Radgast is you're trying to play a burn deck. And one of the things that you really need a burn deck to have is a lot of draw. You need a lot of gats. And one of the upsides of running cards like kind of what we're doing here in the Iron Spider deck is that they Xerox. That is to say, like, you play them and they cantrip, so they replace themselves, right? And this artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield. You draw a card, and that's like all you need. That's all you need. You don't want the cards that are like sack to draw a card, because what you want to be doing is you want to be sacrificing this with Radgast and then that incidentally draws you a card. And then, you know, on top of that, include like some of your discard to draw, include some of your impulse effects, just like keep the gas going. And I think that's probably like, you know, starting advice for building a deck, just off the top of my head. Feeling my Iron Spider ended up being any given Sunday, right? Killian Ink Duelist. This is going to be a really fast aggro deck, I feel like. Killian's usually just like really fast Voltron. Does you cast a targeted creature cost 2 less to cast. It can also be like surprisingly removal heavy. If we hit our removal, we hit our ramp. We've got Guardian Idol to start with, which helps. I've also got Cavern here. Am I ditching Hadron Archive to... No, wait, no, I'm not the starting player. Never mind. No, I am the starting player, so I don't get it. That's... Actually, hold on. This is black-white. I'm going to play the Mox Opal. And I'm going to play that so it doesn't get taken out by a Thoughtseize effect. It could also get hit by a disenchant effect. Black and white has a ton of those. But I always want to... Okay, automated Artificer. I could go Guardian Idol first, or I could go Artificer. I feel like the Idol has a higher chance of surviving. Then we've got... I can go 4 mana into Archive into Artificer. And then we can talk about Tezzeret, -3, grab... What? Dusk Wielder? Target opponent loses like... Oh, okay. So this is going to be like budget aggro. Emergence Zone. Okay. So yeah, here's Hedron Archive. Here's... Oh wait, no, I could have gone Tezzeret with the Mox Opal out. Whoops. Ah well, say Levy. We got like a ton of mana now, so we can even go Tezzeret, Iron Spider, map. But I'm going to activate and search for the map first before I cast Iron Spider, because then that, you know, that's just how timing works. That's just literally how timing works, and you want to make sure that you use your ability before you give your opponent a free chance to kill your Planeswalker for no value. We've got all the mana in the world, but what are we going to do with it? With Tezzeret, anything's possible. Actually, having like 3 artifacts in is already purposes. And because of Paradox Engine and we're playing against Thoughtseize effects, I want to name Spider. Actually, you know what? No, we'll name Hero. We're not playing the effect Spider here. Even though we probably could as a mana sink. You can only cast Artifact. Don't know why it took you so long to learn about Egret, Eater of All, and Camilla the Seed Miser. Egret's a pretty good card.
Through ambition, I am remade.
Alright, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead. I've got all the mana to play.
This will suffice.
Here's the Expedition map. Grab that first. If I play this, we'll do it like this. And I'm going to do this specifically because this is activate an ability or cast an artifact spell. No, that means that actually wouldn't. Opponent getting a chance to look over the cards. That's fine.
My network is already.
I guess the Expedition map grabs a land, which they can't easily get out of my hand, but like they might still have like a Mind Rot. Just like, you know, don't worry about it. In which case, like, I could have left the Artificer untapped to help block for the Tezzeret. But in this case, I don't want to, like, leave them an opportunity to, like, kill this and force me to pop this sooner. And then they Mind Rot the Inventor's Fair out of my hand. Looking at Bloomborough and think maybe the frog shouldn't have taken the Calamity Beast Egg. Tale as old as time. Lord Kondo shouldn't have taken the Spirit Egg. But, you know. Target opponent attacks a creature of their choice. What am I saying? Okay, so yeah, Tezzeret's probably dead. That's fine. That buys us more time. I mean, like, I would prefer Tezzeret live, because that actually means a lot more mana, but... Currently got 4 mana here? Yeah, we got 4 mana. 4, 8... So it's 9 total? Yeah, it's 9 total. Tezzeret's gonna, like, die anyway, so, like... I don't know how much value there is in pumping Iron Spider unless they just, like, completely tap out. Yeah, I'm not sticking my neck out for Tezzeret. Thanks for soaking up 6 life for me, buddy.
My ascension continues elsewhere.
Alright, now they're gonna go ahead. We're gonna crack the expedition map. Grab inventors. I would love something else to do. Okay, that's something else to do. Goodbye, Killian. Ooh, do they have protection spell for Killian? That's pretty good if they do. Nope. Goodbye, Killian.
Operation yields success.
Very, very good top deck there.
My timeless wisdom.
Ooh, and then I have... I can't do it this turn.
Possibility.
I can animate the Mistress Foundry and then, like, plus the Iron Spider. Honestly, it's probably better that I can't play the Quinjet right away. Let's see. So I have enough here, and then 1, 3, 4. Gemstone Caverns. 3 mana off Ugin. Play the Quinjet. Untap everything. We can start going off. Probably means I don't want to actually, like, animate the Foundry then, because that gives them a chance to, like, kill it. Yep, they can go ahead. They can replay Killian. That's fine. Pass. Yeah, you can swing at Ugin. I don't care. Bonk. Yep, Ugin takes a little bit of a love tap. That's fine. I'm not going to animate the Guardian Idol either. I'm just literally going to take my turn. I'm going to lay out this cavern. Stack Inventor's Fair. Grab the Paradox Engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, hold on. Let's do this now, just in case they have a response. Then tap out. QQ. Here's Paradox Engine. Exile Killian. And now we get to start all the untapping shenanigans. Jack-o'-lantern's going to be like a 2 mana draw card. And like we could like absolutely brick at this point. But they just like have no pressure on us. So we'll have a chance to rebuild. Alright, now we get to cast the Quinjet. And now that the Quinjet is here, we also get to put counters on that. And here's the Jack-o'-lantern. Go ahead, tap again. Do QQ. Exile to draw. And it's instant ramen. That's exactly what you want to see. We're going to redraw off the instant ramen. That is not what we want, but here's the beauty of the game cage in here. Now we can go ahead and just draw an extra card. And we already hit our win condition. That's amazing. So now it is a pretty hard.
I am the master of this world.
Yep. Gotta hit like actual gas, actually. Oof. Oof. Oh, that is that is straight up lands, actually. Alright, so we bricked on that. Our opponent gets a chance to come back at it. Non-deterministic combo. So, like, they can answer it this turn if they, like, have anything better than that. Because now Ugin gets a chance to actually just, like, exile their board again. And this time, what I'm going to do is I am going to animate my Guardian Idol and or my Mishra's Foundry. So that way I can start putting extra cards on them. Yeah, and then it might actually be worth it to just like draw an extra card here rather than go for mana. So then, yeah. Okay, there we go. They figured it out. They figured out that we're probably gonna pop off now, because having the extra bodies means having extra cards. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got like 5 mana here, and then we're gonna be able to use that to help play the Eternity Elevator. 5 plus the 10 here plus whatever land we play. Good shit. Actually, we were the starting player too, so if we had max speed, this would become 1 automatically. But the Eternity Elevator here, this is where things can potentially get silly. Oh well. Oh well. We still got the win. Like, pretty handily too. Midweek Magic is just like so good for getting those. Reeve, Heart of the Storm. This is the one that wants to. No wait, this is the one that's going to double damage for cards that just entered this turn. Okay, how aggressive? You got Steel Overseer, Inspector Ring. I want turn 2 Raw. I'm willing to fall down probably 5 in order to try and get. Not quite, but I don't know that I can go down to 4. So the Terrarian comes into play tapped. This one will draw a card, but that's not what we. I want the Caravan. I want the Heat Archive. Might just be put back the Haterback Walker then. Aetherflex Reservoir was used in a life gain deck as win condition? No, no, no. It is a Storm card. Like, if you see Aetherflex Reservoir, that is 100,000% a Storm deck in the making. Because you gain life. Every time that you gain life, you're gaining life for each of the triggers, right? Like, for every spell. So, like, if you cast 5 spells this turn, you gain 5. And then you gain 6 on the next one. And hello. This is interesting. That could mean Burn Spell, which would mean Vexing Bauble, pretty good. I could go Solar Transformer first and hedge my bets. Yeah, I like that better. And I want to be careful with this Vexing Bauble, because this Vexing Bauble actually counters spells if no mana is spent to cast them. Damn Ship's Engineer. Begin your ends if you control 2 or more tapped creatures. You make a robot. Gotcha. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Might be best just to go play the Archive. play the caravan. Then I'm gonna play this bauble because I can cycle it later. Just focusing on the pay 50 part of the effect, that's why. I mean, the pay 50 part of the side effect is what you do with all that light. Right? And like, if you're just casting spells, the thing gives you... Like, you absolutely gotta look at the whole card in order to see it, because the Faith of Flex Reservoir is saying you can do this just by casting this. I will give you the life, just cast spells. So cast as many spells as you want in a single turn, you're gonna get a ridiculous amount of life. Alright, Cryptic Case. I don't have anything to start using all this mana for, so I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's probably enough for a redraw. Alternatively, I've also got these Mercs here that I can start making tokens of. I don't hate that. Play the Inspector, play the Iron Spider. If they kill the Iron Spider, then good for me. I get to recast Spider Hero. This is a crew, right? Yeah. And then I've got 3 mana to use. I can either make a token, or I can make a Vexing, or I can crack my bauble. Also, having this Skylight Matrix is handy just because I can, like, now pay 2 mana, animate my vehicle without having to crew it. Just thought about it, makes you hate Storm even more. Yes, yes! Let the hatred flow through you. Make a 4/4 Flying Dragon, that's fine. Ideal, but it's fine. But also you now tapped out, so Queen out. I just get like... Get to start making this for free. Mox Opal. I don't think that's worth putting out just yet. I could... I am going to start trying to like draw through though. That is... I guess Iron Spider is going to be like my drive through here. At which point, like, I do want the Mox Opal actually. No attacks and turn. Yeah. Yeah, I guess cracking the Vexing Bauble was fine, but I probably don't want to crack the Cryptic Case just yet. Because I've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana now. That's 4 to make a token. Iron Spider taps. Okay. I can do a bunch of blocking. Just a question of like, what else am I doing with this? Let's go tap tap. Make token. Let's go target, animate target vehicle. Pass the blockers. And create a 4/4 other creature gain haste thing. I guess I'm more worried about this thing. You can here and here. I also have to be careful because now I don't want to actually accidentally remove counters from anything that has damage marked on it. But I am going to go ahead and eat a couple of counters from... gives me an extra card. Soul Guide Lantern is free. This is a redraw as well. Also, like, I got... Oh, right, I've got Blink Moth Nexus that I can start doing with this with too. And that's 2 infect. We take those. Just need to like line here. Crux of the matter. Backhainer is Another card that helps animate my thing. I don't have any other ways to draw except for this Iron Spider, so I guess we're just gonna chill. Remember that I can animate my Blink Moth Nexus too. I remember that I can animate my Blink Moth Nexus too. Saw Aetherflux Reservoir in a red-blue-white deck. You know that you're not gonna have a good time. I mean, but have you considered killing your opponent? Have you considered running artifact removal so that way you can, deal with them? Oh, this thing has fly. Oh, they're running call. Surprise. Nope. That happened. Oh, this is fly. 1/1 with flying into end of turn, still an artifact. I'll take it. I guess I'll just like continue wings. Go ahead and animate. Have you considered killing your opponent? That sounded really odd out of context. I mean, like, anything sounds bad if you say it like that. And now I'm definitely gonna start, like, pulling some extra counters off. Got 2 more, so we can do 2 more. Mightstone, Meekstone, that helps a bit. And what if we go... Loop. Loop. Eh. Better than I could have hoped, I guess. Steel Overseer. That's an interesting. First things first, we need to draw. You draw cards. But also I can kind of attack with impunity, yeah? Yeah, I can kind of attack with impunity at this point. So we didn't even get to see... Yeah, we didn't even get to see our Paradox combo. But, because we just made a ton of mana, and we had, like, outs to keep making little creature tokens and animating stuff. Like, we get to just, like, keep going wide. We just get to keep fighting back. And, like, our opponent didn't run any removal. So, you know, we kind of just got to do whatever we wanted. Which meant that Iron Spider could keep drawing us cards off of putting counters on all these little guys. You do run a bit more artifact removal compared to when you first started? Good, good. That's the important thing, right? When you're playing a zero-sum game, that is to say, when you're playing a game where one person wins and one person loses, and that is almost always going to be the result, right? Like ties being the exception. When you're playing a game with one person wins and one person loses, you got to get good. That's kind of like, you know, 90% of what this is all about is you got to get good. A lot of that means knowing, like, how you interact with your opponent. It's not going to be like, you know, speed block building where everyone is siloed off and you can't interact with each other and you're just trying to, like, do a thing. It's not like trying to run a race where all you have to do is be faster. When you have the ability to interact with your opponent, you have to be doing the things that stop them from doing things. Also, we're going to be going first against Junji Ito. Junji the Midnight Sky. When he dies, either I discard 2 cards and lose to life, or they can reanimate a dragon, a non-dragon creature. Or they could just concede. I accept that as well. I accept that as well. They might have just decided that I was taking too long trying to read their cards or something. Or actually, maybe they came down with a case of hot girl syndrome, so they had to run off to the bathroom. Like, no shame there. No shame there. Junji's a cool-looking dragon. 100% agree. Junji is an amazing dragon. I love all the Kamigawa dragons. They look fantastic. The Astonishing Ant-Man. Okay. Take a look here. The Astonishing Ant-Man. 2 mana, 1/1. Whenever you draw a card, you put a counter on him. Pay 3 mana. Remove any number of 1/1 counters from Ant-Man. Make that many insects. Okay, we don't have our 2-drop rocks. This is already a much better. Mind Stone, Flesh Raker, Elevator, Guidelight Matrix. Good. Not going to play out the Lantern, but I am going to play out a Vishkar Raceway to start off. Sansa's Chocobo. Okay, we might be in trouble. This might be like an actual decent deck. I'm going to need to play out Mind Stone first, I think, because I need to like start going. And then on turn 3, we'll have 4 mana available. Flesh Raker refunds us a little bit. Yep, there's Ant-Man. Now we got Ant-Man. Hello, Paradox Engine. I'm not going to play out this Guide Lamp yet. That's going to represent damage later. I guess I could have played Matrix. That would have been a little more mana efficient. Oh no, Hardened Bonds. This is a really strong card. Whenever a counter is put on a creature you control, seek a creature card. That card perpetually gets +1/+1. This ability only triggers once each. That is an insanely powerful card in any of these Hardened Structure decks. Guardian Idol, I think for Paradox purposes, is what we want. So let's go Flaring Flesh Raker. Let's go Soul Guide Lantern, because now we get to make a token. Token that can actually like block some of the big... Yeah, you can go ahead and cancel the thing. That's fine. That triggers up the Rumble Arena past the turn. I might actually let the damage go through, though. Because we have 5 mana, play the Paradox Engine. We have 2 tokens. We can play the Guardian Idol. Anything? No, I need to play the Elevator. I need to play the Elevator. Because then the Elevator taps for 3. Alright, no blocks. Take it like a champ. Alright, so we have 5 mana. And then with this, I'm actually going to go ahead and cast my Commander, because getting this online is part of how we win the Time War. Let's see, this will start afterward. Still no attacks, past turn. And then tomorrow we go off. Like, we just got to survive this one turn with as much of our life intact as possible. Rar, hey Griffin, thank you for stopping by. We're currently in a race against the astonishing Ant-Man and his Hardened Bonds. That's currently 7-10. Past the blockers. I'll put 1 in front of Ant-Man just in case there's like shenanigans going on. Because I'm pretty sure we'll be able to start going off without that 1 token. If they just like pass the turn with counter magic up, I'm gonna be really sad trying to get this engine going. Oh, they hit the 1 ring. That does make this a little complicated. World map. Okay. That's interesting. So let's go QQ. We have everything tapped. And then, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and start stationing Flesh Raker. Put it to tap. Put a counter. Let's go Paradox Engine. It doesn't actually deal them damage, sadly enough. And then I am going to go ahead. Tap here. Activate. Turn this into a thing. We're going to station this with the Flesh Raker, and then tap. We're going to QQ. Here's the world map. We're going to QQ. Tap. Oh shit, now the Guardian Idol can't tap for mana. I was not thinking about that. Whoopsie daisy. Hey, we're getting raided by Kit Genesis for 24! Hey! What is up? Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us on a Magic weekday. Actually, let's just go ahead and
You just went.
I can use the Guardian Idol to start crewing, stationing the elevator here. And then we're going to go ahead and QQ again. Rack this world map. I didn't play a land this turn, so we're actually going to grab our Inventor's Fair. Inventor's Fair is going to help take us out of here. We can grab the Aether Flux here. And then hopefully this turns into something. Although, wait, no, we can grab the R1 ring. Duh! Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you got a raid and run, by all means, absolutely. For folks who don't know, go follow Kit Genesis. She is currently doing a patch lock run, which is really fucking sweet, by the way. I've been trying to keep, like, as much tabs on as possible. Therapy in, like, 3 minutes? Get going, girl. Get going. But hey, thank you so much for leaving everyone here. We're going to try and, like, keep good care of your community. And, we're just gonna be having some fun here. Remove 2 counters. Excellent. That's exactly what I need. And we get the concession anyway! Alright, which means that I had the perfect opportunity to let you all know, hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and this is the Daily Grind. This is that time of the day where we come on and we grind our dailies, including Magic Arena and Final Fantasy XIV, which we're actually going to be switching over to shortly. Because I've got Wondrous Tales to do, and I've got my Everything Ellison, where I'm trying to, you know, level her up. And just chatting and hanging out is doing great. I've also got a YouTube channel, Hero Girls VT, on the YouTube. I've got some essays over there. It's also where the VODs are being simul-streamed. So if you're ever late to a stream and you want to check out, and, you know, just go ahead and give us a subscribe over there. Thank you so much. Won't have to do more Millicene next week. I'm actually not familiar with that one. But I'm going to assume that's a good thing. I'm going to assume that that's a, you know, helping out with the blood levels, or maybe even, like, you know, the hormones. You'll know when the video drops. Ah, okay. Okay, it's raid related. Gotcha. Oh my god, it's got to be one of the raid foods. I'm a little behind on the series, but, like, I'm at least trying to keep up in broad strokes. Oh, it's the fight itself. Oh my god, wait, hold on. Messaline, is that the one where is that the one with, like, the twin serpents? Sucks. Snake Lady? Yeah, it is Snake Lady. Okay, it is Snake Lady. Yes. That's the one that my friend wouldn't let me and my friend actually, like, play through. No. It was a different one. It was a different one that she actually had to, like, burst through. But Snake Lady is infamous. Snake Lady is actually infamous. Even I know about Snake. Oh. Turn 7 normal is fine, but Savage is actually abysmal. It looked like you were really struggling with that. Like, every time I'm checking it in, it's just, like, constantly pulling your hair out. Like, maybe not even, like, specifically that turn itself, but, like, in general, Coils has not been kind to you. You'll be bald before it ends? No! No, that's what the estrogen's supposed to be for! Okay. Okay, I think we had a really good showcase of how we can actually like fight through one ring protection. A clean final phase and it's free. Nope, no complaints there. Alright, let's go ahead and switch on over to doing our Final Fantasy dailies. So go ahead, launch that. Make sure our room is clean before we launch anything. You know how it is. Turn off. Oh, god damn it, there's a new patch that has to be installed real quick. Never check for these anymore. Yes, 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 yes. Thank God for installer, am I right? Thank God for installer. This is gonna be like the first time I've had a chance to actually do Final Fantasy 14 dailies like all week. Oh god, because Monday we didn't get to stream. Tuesday was the drop of a new set, so like, you know, it just turns into a magic. And then Wednesday was therapy, so no stream there. And now we're here on Thursday, and we're gonna have to make sure we don't fall behind on Wondrous Tales again. Like, for anyone who sticks around, essentially what happens during Magic, I tend to narrate a lot of the plays that are going on and a lot of the thought processes. And when I'm working on any of the intense combo lines, I have to get locked in, so it's a little hard for me to like keep up with chat. But that's part of why we rotate in Final Fantasy for the end there, because then I'm just doing chores, and it's a lot easier to just free form and yap. So we are officially now in the wind down yapping, body doubling yapping part of the string. If you ever want to watch Suffering, Tuesday or Thursday, gonna be Death Incarnate. Tuesday and Thursday. That sounds, yeah. Yes, yes, girl, yes. I'm always down to watch the stuff like that. It's always nice to pop in. I think the most awkward thing that tends to happen with trying to like here's the thing, right? We stream during what would be normal people office hours for like most people, and it's just like, okay, this is like a good time for us to stream, you know, because it's midday, East Coast might be getting home from work or whatever. This is a work period for us. But then it's like,
you just went boom.
Maeve, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, and Kit, I forgot to thank you for the follow too. Maeve's your partner, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember you mentioning that Maeve's your partner. Just actually like making the saying the question here in part for audience and part for audience. But no, it sucks. It sucks because all the people that I want to hang out with and watch their streams of stream at the exact same time as me. So like at some point you think that would mean like collaboration, but no, I end up just doing my own thing because it's like, this is what we do. This is why we do it. We come in here and we do the dailies because this is how we, you know, make it so that way we're just keeping up with all the grind that we want to keep up with without actually sacrificing downtime, without actually sacrificing the leisure. We're running over to the GC to grab weekly hunts. Oh no! My game! My game's lagging. No crash. No crash. Fatal error has occurred. No! Why would Yoshi P do this to me? Why would Yoshi P do this to me specifically? I was hearing that actually, has anyone been having the connection issues lately? I've been hearing from some of the other tubers that there's been some significant connection issues lately, weird stability things. I haven't heard anything about additional DDoS attacks, but it has just claiming victim after victim. All right, chat, let's try this again. Let's try this again. The server is currently congested, so yes, the answer is absolutely yes. We are not the only ones experiencing this. Not by a long shot. By the way, folks, if you like Final Fantasy 14, I have a Final Fantasy essay that I have on my YouTube channel called "Why I Played 500 Hours of Just A Realm Reborn." The answer is because it's fun. I wasn't even doing patch log content. I was just doing it for the love. Yep. Yep. Okay. Population got wiped out, and now everyone's been coming back. Good thing we weren't. Oh god. Ow, crunchy. You'll beg my pardon if I yarn to. First things first, we gotta grab our hunt mark. Hey, free teleport. Oh wait, no, we already have old ones. Hold on. All right. New strat. Go to Ideal Shire. Get my Wondrous Tales immediately. And then, Viper clear. No. We need to knock out the. Leveling roulette first as well. We knock out the leveling roulette. I get my weekly there. Maybe they'll have front lines. We have a time for front lines, and it clears things off. Fortunately, we are on par with our. Yes, front lines. Yes. So if we do a leveling we do front lines first, and then do a leveling roulette, we'll have time for both. I don't want to go into a leveling roulette and then accidentally get like a squad of noobs that are gonna wipe. Granted, I'll be the Astro, so it shouldn't be wiping, but you know, why tank your champ? Go ahead, we queue into front lines. Right now, we have current grind goals, right? My goal is to do like as much as possible in each expansion per what is available. It's not per patch like what Kit's doing, but it is, you know, what someone who is going through would have access to. So we did have Palace of the Dead available to us in Realm Reborn, and I did that for a while. I'm going to go back to it at some point. I think potentially for maybe for like the anniversary that's coming up. I've got my anniversary plans for next month, and I need to figure out something to do that. I've been holding on to House of the Dead for that in particular, because it is just like a ton of yap. But for right now, the grind goal that I'm currently working on is getting everything to 71. And since I'm only ever committing like 1 hour per stream day to it, that means that we have time for exactly front lines. It has and some other stuff. In fact, while we're waiting for this, what I should be doing, what I should absolutely be doing in. Where is. Oh, God. Clouds! I'm gonna have to check Fran's map. Fran. Partner in crime for stuff. I've been. He loves Final Fantasy, but isn't familiar with 14. Only heard whisper tellings of the tales that are coming. Okay, so this thing is like on the bottom half. That's good to know. Woo! And you know, at some point, I'm gonna miss Heavensward. Actually, I'm gonna miss Heavensward. It feels like I haven't actually experienced as much of Heavensward as I have with A Realm Reborn, and at the exact same time, it feels like I've spent too much time. Maybe in part because we're doing the hunts and everything like that. Maybe in part because the reputation quest got so tedious at one point. Like, Moogles are fine. Bugs were fine. Frontline poppings is fine. But trying to do the Vanu quests kind of just sucks. Just kind of sucks the life out of me. Moogles should burn? Should they though? Okay, but like the Moogle reputation quest was actually really cute and nice, and like yes, they're little furry bastards, but like they're Fae. All Lala clones should. I mean, like, look, we're not gonna say that Lalafell don't have their fair share of bastards, but like, who doesn't? You know, what playable character race doesn't have their fair share of bastards? At least the Moogle reputation quest is cute and like they actually get motivated to, craft and do stuff. And then you get like the really cute interactions where the Ishgardian Knights come into play, and then they're like really upset primarily because the Moogles are doing their, their Moogle tricks on them, and it sucks for them. But then they start really getting into it, and they pull tricks themselves with the Koopa nuts that you make them. That's really cute. That's cute tit for tat. And then you also get to see the dragons in play. You get to see the dragons hanging out in the plaza. You get to see the knights lying with the dragons. Not like that, but like, they get lying next to them, chilling. You get to see a knight say, "I never knew lying with dragons could be so pleasurable." Not like that, but happy pride. Incidentally, we are also working on our PvP pass here. Oh, I am. Okay, I'm further than I thought. Not as far as I would like to be, but we have plenty of time to. There's also no, there's no deep dive with PvP here. We just wing it. We just do our best. We just follow the herd, and we continue to yap. I like the Moogles for the most part. Like, okay, sure, yeah. They're actually, you know what? Having gone through Dawn Trail and seeing how some of the reputation quests are, I like the reputation quests in Dawn Trail. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. But there's a certain rough edge charm that I think the early reputation quests have, right? Like, I remember doing the Pixie quest. I remember doing the Arcs of Dodger quests, and those are nice. It's definitely not like they're bad. I'm trying to think of... Hold on. So I'm trying to think of a way to verbalize this, to articulate it. That isn't Dawn Trail bad, because it's not Dawn Trail bad. But it certainly is... probably a little not simple. That's not the way to think of it anyway, right? Because with the Pelu Pelu, it's trying to set up a tour guide agency, but it's also a tour guide agency being set up by the locals. It's being set up by the indigenous people themselves from the area, as opposed to, say, people coming in from outside who are trying to turn it into a vacation spot. It's definitely a, hey, we want to attract tourism because this is really good for our economy. Like, there is a level of empowerment there. There's a level of growth there. I don't know that there's as much conflict as there was in previous settings, but it's also, like, just... Dawn Trail was kind of the cozy expansion anyway? I don't know. I enjoyed it either way. But you play some of those early reputation quests, and I think it's actually the quest design itself that really gets you. At the very least, the rewards don't quite feel up to snuff. Part of why we're only aiming to get our jobs up to 71 for right now is because 71 is going to be the minimum that I need in order to do the Pixie reputation quest. Once I could do the Pixie reputation quest, we don't have to worry about trying to keep up with the Wondrous Tales. Wondrous Tales is really good for poetics. I'm kind of over that now. As long as I can keep my main jobs geared up for the role quests, I don't think I need to have everything on par. And by the time that I get a chance to do the the reputation quest to start getting up to 80 and 90. I can also just do Baja. Like, that's also there. So it's like, congratulations, we're gonna go do reputation quests for a little bit, get those out of the way, and then we can do Baja. And we can work on getting all the Baja relic weapons, because that's sick as hell. I haven't even done Baja. I'm just going off of like what I know about Baja from having watched guides, and whoops, I'm gonna die. Whoops. Alright. Perish. Yep, okay. Step with the direction pad. By the way, if you notice any like frame drop issues, that just seems to be a thing that VTube Studio wants to do anytime you go into Frontlines. I guess if I was to turn down some of the effects, I wouldn't have that issue. But then what would be the point of going into Frontlines, you know? Why not play Frontlines if not to, like, you know, test your retinas? I say that after having bring my wife home from the optometrist, where they factually said, oh, by the way, you have stretch marks around your eyes. Like, I knew that eyes could change shape, and that was why, you know, nearsightedness, farsightedness was a thing in the first place. Oh yeah, we really gotta head up north. But to get stretch marks, that is, well, I was already committed to the stretch marks for phase 1 of the transition. Why not phase 2 of the transition? Living like an old lady. By the way, folks, if you're enjoying hanging out, we have a Final Fantasy Friday project that we do. Currently, I am playing through Final Fantasy VIII for the first time ever and having a blast besides. While my my buddy Fran is playing beside me, trying to get all the endings in Chrono Trigger. And he's basically offering commentary and insight as we play. And also occasionally just like telling me what to do or where to go if I get stuck, which seems to happen more often than you would want to. Once we finish Final Fantasy VIII, though, we're going to get back to playing Final Fantasy XIV for his first time. Which means we're finally going to get to do the Warring Triad. We're going to get to... Oh, wait, see. We already did Alliance. We're going to clear out the remaining of MSQ. I might pull him along to try... No, he's already done all these. We're definitely going to be farming relic weapons. So once we start doing Final Fantasy XIV again, if anyone wants to join us on the Anima Relic Hunting Quest, like, hey, you know what? That light stage is a bit of a bitch. So, like, why not make it a community day out of it, you know? Ron and I are already just, like, using this time while we wait for Final Fantasy VIII to wrap up, working on buying all this stuff. I've already got all my shared gear for my classes. So, literally, the Poetics are just going straight towards paying for stuff. And can I even, like, hit anything from here? I don't think I can. I don't have the range of the form. Then, let's see. Warring Triad, which we have to complete before doing the relics. Because doing the Warring Triad is part of finishing the relics. Don't you know? Prefer to just, like, you know, queue into them rather than having to go through a bunch of cutscenes just to finish the relic. Then we get to meet Bert. Well, we've already met Bert, but then we get to, like, see more of Bert. We get to see we get to see a scene that sets up a plot line that I feel is, like, not quite what it wants to set up for Shadowbringers, but then it doesn't. Like, can we talk about the Ardbert line for a second? No, I don't know if I want to with Fran in chat. Actually, I don't know if Fran's in chat. Fran, if you're in chat, say that you're not here, so that I know that I'm free to go ahead and just, like, you know, talk about some things that I've been thinking about with regards to some Heaven's Ward leading into Stormblood cutscenes. Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to talk around, or at the very least, like, you know, find something else to hyper focus on. Those poor snowmen, not a one was given a cozy scarf. Right? They are let's see, battle high, anchor. I can't remember what the buff they give it. I do love it when the snowmen stop by though. Also, I am just rough day. That's okay. We're just here for the XP. And it looks like, oh dear God, I haven't even been paying attention to our score. We are woefully behind. Tomorrow, chat. Tomorrow, maybe even during stream, I'm gonna get a call from my doctor, and we're gonna talk about the ADHD meds that we're gonna start me on. I am so excited. I can finally like focus long enough to actually make good on those essays that I've been writing. The actual writing part is so easy for me. It's so easy. It's the actual like recording, the voiceover, and then the editing work that just like takes time and focus that I don't have, you know? I mean, the actual, I guess, like, playing. The playing part is nice, too, though. Next, who joins us on Final Fantasy Friday when we're doing Final Fantasy XIV. He's currently co-playing Dawn Trail with me. He wanted to rework on some stuff for her OT. I'm doing it specifically so I can get B-roll footage. It all worked out. And, like, I get to hang out with a really cool friend, too. Hope it doesn't take too long to get a good med balance. I hope not. I hope not. I'm going to need to try a few different things because I have tried medication in the past. And, you know, being the silly, dumb teenager that I was, I didn't know how to take it properly. So, like, I would eat it before I had, like, breakfast. I wouldn't take it with food. I didn't really understand what that meant. Or how I was supposed to be sequencing that. And I would get hard punished by just stomach issues later on. But this time I have my wife who actually knows better habits for happier ADHD pill management. And so, you know, hopefully this time it'll work out better. I've taken some of her, like, ADHD. Like, we did try an experiment where I would try it just, like, once or twice just to see, like, if it would work. And, like, oh my God, I was fucking crying. I was crying so hard because I was like, I forgot that this was how it was supposed to be, you know? I forgot that people don't just, like, have Elfet's battle theme constantly on replay in their head. They actually have, like, quiet space to think. They can get up. They can stand up and do the dishes without having to, like, do a 10-15 minute wind up for it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. More of this, please. I'm just not in a position to actually, like, guard any pylon, so I can't actually use protection unit. Yep, and there goes the link for the Discord. So if you're on the Twitch and you're in the Twitch chat right now, we do have that Discord link where you can go ahead and pop on in. Just, you know, match the right vibes, be cool, be chill, don't be a bigot, that sort of thing. The curse of ADHD meds. Meds for a set of symptoms that actually make it hard to take them on a nice regulated schedule. Isn't that the truth? Fortunately, once again, my wife comes to the rescue. My wife has been helping me fill my pill tray with the supplements that I've been taking. You know, just vitamin D, stuff like that. Stuff to help the stuff that a cave dweller like myself is going to have a hard time getting naturally. And then having her take medicine is also going to help me remember, because my job is to try and help her remember to take her medicine. And so when she goes, oh, shoot my meds, I can also be like, oh, shoot my meds. For better and worse. Oh, did I actually not set... My drone didn't set. That's what it was. A focused hero girl could take on the world. I could! I could! It is no secret, chat. No secret that I have been nerfed to hell and back because of this. Like, do you know what I have to do in order to make myself even somewhat functional? I drink power drinks like they're a medication substitute. And that actually made me incredibly high tense and neurotic. So, less of that, please. Less of that, please. Holy shit, we won! Hot damn! Got like 13 assists. That's nowhere near like high level, but we'll take that. I don't know how. I don't know why, but I ain't complaining. We do, however. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to Astro. Plays Final Fantasy victory music. Damn straight. Actually, you know what I should do? You know what I should do? I should have like a macro on my Stream Deck that plays a specific song from Stream B. I wonder if I could. Yeah, there's got to be a way to do that. If I could do that, then I could play like the Final Fantasy VIII fanfare. I'd have to literally go through the widgets and I have to unmute my thing. Like right now, it's just a little hassle, but no, that's what you get. That's what I get for being a part-time streamer, not a full-time streamer. Don't you know? Anyway, egg, and then if we go into leveling alliance, that'll clear off Oh, hey, instant pop, nice. Man, I love. Chat, I'm also realizing that. Ooh, the vault. This is a good one. I love getting the vault. I love getting all of the free. Only the dancer has an actual portrait. Final John. Okay. I'd stream, but I wouldn't know where to find the time, especially with my unpaid babysitting duties. That's the real thing, isn't it? Like, you can stream for fun, absolutely. In fact, I highly recommend it. Streaming for fun is great. When you have friends who can reliably show up, shout out to, you know, my homies in chat right now. Absolute game busters, all of you. But, like, when you have a crew that shows up regularly, like, you know, more often than not, it makes streaming a fantastic experience. And actually, y'all are the reason why I kind of don't want to become a huge streamer, weirdly enough. Like, things start getting a little chaotic once even, you know, 3 or 4 people are talking in chat at the same time, as crazy as that is. Ooh, actually, hold on. I was thinking that they might, like, go pull on the next one, but you know what? Sure, okay. This overstimulation, a little bit. It gets a little hard to keep track. And, like, as much as I want to answer and respond to everyone in chat, like, there are just going to be those moments where I physically can't. I physically can't because the RAM isn't there. The RAM isn't there to juggle, like, 2 or 3 conversations. So I'm going to have to make a decision. And that's going to make someone feel left out. And I genuinely don't feel fantastic when that ends up being the case. Like, I know Teddy's had a couple of things where I just was not able to respond right away. And it's like, well, that's just how it goes when you're streaming, right? I don't appreciate anyone any less, but give the heal, give the dancer the buff. That's just how it be. Just how it be. Now, oh my god, could you? I can't even imagine having 20 plus viewers at a single time, right? Like, at that point, you are pretty committed to the whole. Actually, we're just doing our best. We're just gonna be doing our best. Not everyone's gonna get a mention. Some people are gonna feel sad about that. That's fine. The crew that we are trying to build here is not necessarily a crew of all chatters, even if even if like, you know, chatters are appreciated, we're also looking for lurkers. Lurkers help file out the rank and file. You are helping to boost the numbers without necessarily giving me a higher workload. You guys are literally the goats, actually, and I love you. Like, we don't need everyone to be a type A chatter involved in the conversation. What we do need is like at least a 1-to-3 ratio. Right? Because if you have one type A chatter, well, maybe not even like a chatter. Like if you just, not even like a type of chatter, just like a chatter. If you have one chatter for every 3 people in stream, I think you're doing pretty fantastic, actually. Oh yeah, they got zoomies. Yeah, that's why you don't say a whole heck of a lot during Final Fantasy Fridays. Your friends go back and forth like a stand-up comedy duo. Ideal. Ideal, TBH. Like, honestly, I would even say that, like, emote responses are really good. Because with emote responses, like, you get the idea across immediately without the streamer necessarily having to parse out exactly what it is that's trying to be said. This is like a weird spot for me to pop divination, but like, eh. And so like, that's honestly just like the thing, right? When we do Final Fantasy Fridays, Fran and I typically have like 1 or 2 people that help prompt us with conversation, and that's all we need, baby. That is all we need. As long as people are hanging out and enjoying the show, you know, occasionally donating, upping a gift sub, like I am a-okay. And like I've been streaming for 4 years, right? So here's the crazy thing. There are people who have been streaming just as long, if not shorter than I have, who have seen significantly more success in terms of like a metric standing for it. Like Oceanics, who we occasionally raid into, who I know as like a very, very casual acquaintance. Like, she did a whole stream March thing where she was streaming for like somewhere between like 300 to 400 days straight. And, you know, first of all, amazing stamina and consistency in order to be able to do that. But second of all, like that did get her like a really big audience. At the same time, you know, she's gotten to that point of like, chat is no longer individuals, or like, you know, for the most part, not individuals. Chat is, in fact, chat. Right now, I can still pick out my individual chatters. I know them. I love them. I talk to them. You have not morphed into the amorphous blob that is chat. Chat is currently your title, as opposed to, you know, being chat the entity. And if we ever got to the point of chat being an entity, well, for one, like, I would have to think about like whether or not actually should consider streaming just a wee bit more. That's already kind of curtailed by the fact that I only stream 2 hours at a time. And streaming 2 hours at a time is really good for YouTube streams, significantly less for Twitch streams. But then I would also have to, like, you know, consider finding markers for my regulars beyond just what we already have. Although, you know, strictly speaking, now that apparently, oh god, not partner. What's the step below partner? Associate? Not associate. That's not it. I'm trying to think about what it is. Something. The point where you can like monetize on Twitch. I can actually make badges. So like, if we get to a point where I have, I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 to 20 chatters at a time, then we can start talking about making some badges and actually assigning them out based on subscriber level. I would have to look into what all the different levels and requirements are on top of that. You know, I just realized I have not been managing my stamina, my MP, like, at all. Oops. But it's like, I just kind of don't want to cast any of my cards because we're in a boss fight and cards don't really matter for the boss fight. I need them for mobs. Like in a dungeon, the mobs are what are going to potentially wipe a party, not the boss. At least at the lower levels. In the more regular levels, you can pretty consistently pull wall to wall because the wall to wall pulls are nice and neat and measured. Whereas anything definitely pre Shadowbringers for sure, tends to just be super speedy. Actually, I can just go get the yeah, give me that chest. Gonna greed while we do the thing. Healer's gotta keep up with enrichment somehow. One of the few things that you can do to juggle both healing and focus entertainment. Actually, I'll say this. I have not had to experience the whole healer boredom per se, in part because I'm only ever running roulettes and stuff while I'm streaming. So, you know, that's the other upside. That's the other upside to potentially streaming. Because again, you guys make it awesome. You guys make it a thing that I get to look forward and enjoy doing. Because it means that I have company when I'm doing something incredibly tedious, right? It's part of why I've accepted the Northern Lion mantra that the worst gameplay is actually the best stream content. Because you know what grinding in an RPG usually looks like if I'm not streaming? It looks like me putting on an essay on my second monitor while I go back and forth killing the same liege lizard. Which I haven't done yet, but I was doing that with like the green dragon, so... And I'd rather talk to you than, you know, just kind of mind myself. It's not like I'm watching mind rock content, mind you, but there's definitely a different type of stimulation going on here. I'm actually putting forth effort to be cognitive and opposed to just lying back and thinking about Rome. Oh, do we have like an actual sprout here? Let's see. Can we... Yeah, they are samurai, which means that they... No, wait, Stormblood's part of the free trial, right? It's up to level 80 with Shadowbringers, so like, yeah, you can absolutely be playing samurai at this point. Guess there's no reason not to just like put out the cards. Actually, I have to ask, for anyone who's hanging around during Final Fantasy Fridays, how are you, if you are at all, enjoying Final Fantasy VIII? Because, like, I know I'm loving it. I know Fran can't believe I love it. But, like, what about you, the common man audience? What do you all think of it? I know some of you can't be there for, like, the entire playthrough. In fact, this is going to be the primary reason why, you know, most streamers shouldn't be playing long-form story-based RPGs. They should probably only be streaming the grind, which is part of why I do what I do. No, I gotta remember, that's my single target heal. What was I saying? That's like the one thing. Maybe with ADHD medicine I'll actually be able to like keep track of like my thought process as we're streaming. A bit of a long shot, but hey, you never know. Also, is it just me, or is this no longer, or is the fault like no longer the super intense healer check that it used to? Maybe that's just because I'm so used to running healer level. Ooh, yeah, we gotta level off that. That sounds. You know what? Unbreaker's. Don't need that. That can be for the sprout. We're gonna grab all the gear that we can because I need seals. Mama needs seals. Then goodbye, little sprout. Enjoy one of the most killer cutscenes of all time. Yeah, triple accommodation. Hell yeah. All right, and we hit. No, we didn't hit level 7. What was the notification? Oh, that was our dancer. She hit level 96. Gotcha. How am I doing on seals and everything, by the way? Doing on current. Seals are perfectly. Okay, so with that, we got both of these knocked out. Turn 3. Easy enough because we can do that instinct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We won't even need to go do toils. We'll just do our 3 dungeons, and then we got 4 idiots to kill here. And we've got the start of a line. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let's just go ahead and get the hunt mark from last week. We'll knock those out, and we'll see if we can do a couple trials to round things. Phew! Ow. Ow. I am once again crunchy. Once again crunchy. I need to, hold on. So, like, where does the map up? It's almost like 1 per level, kind of. Okay, that's but we'll take those. This is one of those B ranks, so like it doesn't disappear, not entirely. They'll just respawn if someone nicks it before I do. And like, even then, once we get to the point where we're in Stormblood, we don't have to do these weeklies anymore. Because at that point, we're going to have daily hunts that we can join. We can join the Stormblood Hut Train and just get Centaurio Seals that way. Get nuts. No, it's not Centaurio Seals. It's stacks and sacks of nuts. Yeah, I know what I said. Stop that. Stop that. South. By the way, folks, if you know me, you know that I love unfair flips. Okay, that was just a... Okay, that's just the fate. I thought for a second that the hunt notification was... Anyway. If you know me, I love unfair flips. And unfair flips is currently 25% off. You know what that means? Unfair flips costs $1.34. $1.34. And you too can own unfair flips. Highly, highly, highly recommend that you pick it up, especially if you love RNG. More so if you hate RNG, actually. More so if you are the type of person who, you know, draws a 7-land hand, throws it back, gets back another 7-land hand, and you're like, wow, the universe hates me today. Like, do it. Do it. Do it. If you're someone who wants to stream, like if you were actively considering whether or not you would have fun streaming and you just want like something to test it out on, do it. Do it, actually. Just like the... If you are the type of person who just You need help. You need help practicing for streaming. You need help learning how the art of the yap goes. If you need to just get the experience under your belt, literally boot up the game and pretend that you are talking to real people in your chat. That you are, in fact, entertaining 20, 30 something people, and you just cannot tell anything that they're saying, because streaming to 0 people is pretty much the same as streaming to 1,000 people. Gotta be able to all the way up there. I hope it does like a second half of the. Yeah. All right. Going up, up, up. We're going higher. That's right. This is K-pop. Demon Hunter song. Those songs pop, and I like to sing them too. Actually, Golden is a really good song. And it's crazy to go into a song, to a literally my grocery store, literally my neighborhood grocery store, and then you hear Golden playing on the speakers. Actually, kind of crazy. We didn't get the Magical Girl songs on the stage in the grocery stores when I was a kid. What in the... Ooh, big one. That's a big one. All right, chat. Let's Leroy Jenkins. This one is going to be worth a pretty feather in my cap. Now, normally we don't get to do this in later expansions. Ooh, that's not... Oh, you just... Okay, you don't actually... Water resistance down, water resistance reduced. Okay, yeah, you don't actually have anything. That's... Although, now my Chocobo is in danger. Put you back to... Yeah, my Chocobo's... My Chocobo's good. My Chocobo's... Anyway. What was I going on about? Oh, right. Okay. Can you imagine, like, going into the grocery store and hearing Sailor Densetsu playing? Actually wild. Actually wild. That's a thing that could happen. Although I guess K-pop Demon Hearts is a bit more scary, given that it's a Netflix show, as opposed to when Sailor Moon was originally just on being dubbed by... I might actually pop potion here, just to like cut myself out just a little bit. The timer's going to be a little over a minute. Meanwhile, I'm going to have Bloodbath here in 38 seconds, so I can just hang on. Ooh, this thing's actually got like some bite to it. "24 seconds. Hold on. Hold. Hold. Bring the Chocobo back. Chocobo heal. Chocobo recovery. Chocobo regen. Alright, hold. 9 seconds left. 9 seconds. If we can just make it, we got this covered. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Max healing unlocked. I'm like level 80 Viper with base gear, and this is actually still a fight. Because some of these A ranks just deal a hell of a lot of damage. I am not going to miss the individual hunting, I'll tell you that. Because once we get to the hunt train, you get them all. You can get all of the achievements, actually. Everyone gets to share. That's 40 Centurio seals, 30 Elegant Tomestones. I got a faded copy of Lost in the Clouds? Yo, what? I didn't realize that they gave scrolls. Oh, I already have both of these. I already have both of them. I must have gotten this one already. Ah, well. We do it for the love of the game, not because it's profitable. Anyway. So then I started blasting. Today was a good day. Like, the days that I get to stream are usually good days. I come out of stream feeling so much better than when I go in some days. And some days I go in feeling pretty darn good, actually. But when I'm not feeling great, actually, when I'm feeling mid, when I'm feeling just helps to come here, get in the routine, get into the redefine your space mindset. Can we literally not see? Oh wait, hold on. There might be a spot over here. It didn't go far enough north. We're all over the second half. This has to be. Thought we'd find it for sure, but I guess. Unless it got moved around because someone assassinated. But well, I guess that's not impossible. The beauty of the MMO is that sometimes there are people out here. God damn it, it's right there. I will take it. I'll take it though. I will absolutely take this. This one, at least I can go ahead and switch his choke evo attack mode. B ranks, you can actually hunt yourself, and you know you are meant to be able to hunt yourself. There we go, 100 Centurios. Allied hunt, that's Centurios. We're getting a nice hefty sum. Then want to head back to Ishgard and get like the next one for that. Maybe we can knock out the other one real quick. One for Danya. Yeah, it's in Western Thanaland too, so that's like a relatively easy. Note that I'm saying relatively easy. I don't know if we'll actually be able to get this one by the time that stream ends. Also, I'm gonna pop up. Oh, that's right. Dragon Quest event's back, is it? Dragon Quest event's back. I might need to run that one just so that Lucky can see. Like, not right this second. We're not going to have time to do it today. But if it is active, then yeah, we absolutely got to do that. I'm going to get Thamora some more puff puff action. Mora likes the puff puff. I also just like haven't been to Oldal or any starting areas for a while. I mean, you never know. Part of the fun of killing some of the higher level hunts starting areas is to feel like you're doing your community service, you know? By the way, chat, we are getting to the end of the but that's not the end. Just because that's the end of the stream doesn't mean that the stream has to end. We like to pass on the love here. So if you know anyone who's cool, anyone who, you know, maybe they're like me, maybe they're trans or queer or neurotypical, maybe they love Final Fantasy, maybe they love playing Magic, card games, MMOs, anything like that, go ahead and hit that lead the raid redeem. We'll make sure to pass on the love. It's also just a good way for me to find new streamers to follow, because every time I try and, you know, look up who to follow, I end up wanting to raid into the same 3 or 4 people. Like, we had Kit raid into us earlier, and that was amazing. But also, like, Kit is someone I end up tending to default into streaming. Or raiding? Yeah, raiding. Someone I tend to default into raiding because I know that, like, the vibes are good. The vibes are good. The stream is fun and entertaining. She does suffer. She wasn't kidding about that. She does suffer. Am I gonna have to? Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to check out the detect that first half. Not uncommon for it to be here in the swamp. Also, there is like a new greatest story never told, from what I've heard for Heaven's Ward. I might actually try my hand at doing that one normally. I did look up how I was supposed to be solving this stuff when I did the Realm Reborn version, and that was just kind of because I was not really in the mood. But I also had the assurance that, hey, if I wanted to go back and do that on like Hiroko or Kori, that it would be, in fact, be a unique experience, given that apparently it's a little bit different for each person. Like, get a 1 in 3 route, I think, what happens. Aha! To the north! You were here! There you are. Sewer syrup. I've come. Your clothes. Give them to me. Alright. That takes care of that. So we're just going to go ahead and turn. We're going to go back to Gridania. We're going to go turn on else. We're going to go grab X mark. And then we're going to be heading out. Raining again. Under my umbrella, umbrella. One of these days, chat. One of these days, maybe what I'll do as part of the Donathon setup is we'll have karaoke night. Will that be fun? I've seen Odessa do it a few times. So like, you know, if I really needed to know about setup or something, maybe I could ask her what. And then we can just have fun karaoke night with Hero. Then I think we're gonna end it out here just because I want to be back in the Serpents when we. Fortunately, Wondrous Tales, you get 2 weeks to do it. So if we hold back on and save some of that stuff for next week, we're not gonna have any issues. I do need to make sure that I'm checking next week's schedule though, just to make sure there isn't anything popping up. Anyway, let's go ahead and start setting up for the raid. If you're over on the YouTube side, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you. Don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe on the stream. Maybe check, and if you're checking out the VOD after the fact, then I hope you had a good, cozy time. We're going to go ahead and end that YouTube there. Bloop. And then over on the Twitch side, the